If you're having a hard time drawing feet, break it down into this simple shape. I don't even know what to call this shape, but it looks like this. But now you can do a trapezoid shape and use this as a simple guide, with one side being longer than the other and using this as a actual construction so you can build up the actual foot. But then you want to take the trapezoid shape and actually draw it in 3D space. And of course, soften it until you have this shape. The foot has this S curve to it, and most body parts do. So if you take these rigid shapes and then soften them up, you end up with this more accurate representation of how a foot will look. And of course, learning how to draw this in all kinds of angles will be able to increase your knowledge about how the foot works, and you'll be able to draw feet extremely easily. Don't worry about the toes right now, just focus on drawing the foot positions. And once you learn that, then you can start going in and adding details like the toes and everything else like that. And so like I said, if we go back to our figure, we can see that it's still going to have this shape no matter what angle is in. And once we follow this angle and master it, it'll be much easier for us to construct feet in the future. And then of course, once you have that shape in, you can go and start adding in things like the toes and everything else to make the feet look like actual feet and not like some weird shaped, globs on the foot, all right? People often struggle with drawing the torso from the side view, but today I'm going to show you guys how to do it properly. Instead of doing that, just draw a circle for the arm joint, a tilted oval shape for the rib cage, and then we can start adding in a few details here and there, making the arm into a tube shape, and then we can drop the chest with a teardrop shape. Make sure it hangs down and not just sticks out like a bowling ball. And then we can go ahead and start adding in the torso by adding this tapered box shape and then another circle for the hips. And now that we have a rough guide, we can use this to start drawing in our details that will make our whole entire drawing come together. Now, using the rough lines you made, you can start darkening your lines and also erase some of the roughness if you want to clean it up some more, and start making sure all those shapes you just made are more defined. Always keep in mind that the body has a rhythm to it, so it's going to have a staggering shape. Things tilt forward and back, and this is how we create balance when we're standing up. As you can see, the neck is tilted forward, the chest tilted back, hips tilted back, arms tilted forward. You guys get the whole gist. Everything has a tilt to it. Nothing is straight up and down. And now we can go and start adding in our anatomy and our muscle tone and definition for the arms and everything else, and the clothing as well. Once you're done, you can of course add in some shading if you want to by scribbling on your paper or doing anything else that you want to do. It's up to you now. Right here, you're pretty much done with your drawing, and now you're just adding in your details. But that right there, my friends, is how you draw a body from the side position. And now you guys know how to do it easy, simple, and fast. When you're drawing a plus size character, make sure you keep in this shape in mind. Notice how the stomach makes this kind of shape, okay? This is the shape you want to go for. It's kind of like a fruit, maybe like a pear or something. And that's pretty much the shape you want to go for. And then, of course, this shape right here making this overlap, okay? This part's going to be hanging down lower from the actual main waist, and then this part is going to sit just like this. These are the sides of the body, just like so. Belly button's kind of flat, but because of the gravity, and that's pretty much what you want to go for. This is how it's going to look when you're trying to add a more of a stomach on your character, okay? Obviously, whenever you're trying to draw different body types, it's always best to use these basic shapes, because once you get the basic shape down, it's actually pretty easy to draw everything else. So remember that. That's one thing I do whenever I'm trying to draw a bigger character or chubbier character. This part of the stomach is actually the most important part whenever you're trying to draw a plus size character, okay? So that's what you want to keep in mind, all right? And also don't forget, depending on the clothing they're wearing, you're gonna see bulging. Notice how the shirt is tight and the pants are tight, the stomach bulges outward this way. It goes outward in that direction. Same thing for the legs. There's a bulge right here on the thigh. The thigh is going that way, and this is pretty much going in. So keep in mind that the body is going to pretty much, it's gonna bust out the clothing pretty much. So this is some quick tips I can give you guys for drawing some more plus size characters. People tend to forget that when the head is tilted upward, the neck has this angle like this. It's gonna get longer in the front and shorter in the back, and then it's going to have this kind of shape. Keep this in mind whenever you're trying to draw the head that's tilted upward. Once you get this down, it's going to be much easier to understand the neck and how to draw it correctly. So basically, when you're drawing the neck, what you have to do is make sure that you have a kind of a slant, okay? Because the neck is not straight up and down like most people think it is. It's like a box that's tilted sideways, and this right here is the jawline. This is how the neck sits straight up on the head. But once we tilt our head upward, you can see that it's not going up, it's actually just going down and pinching the neck together. And this is how you create the neck tilted upward. As you saw, the back of the neck got shorter and the front of the neck got longer. This is what you want to keep in mind whenever you're trying to draw the neck. And of course, don't forget to break the neck up into its actual muscles. Remember that there's going to be a tendon right here that gets pulled whenever your neck is flexing. And of course, the muscles on the shoulder that are going to connect to the neck like this, making this triangular shape. These are just two of the basic muscles that you want to keep in mind whenever you're trying to draw the neck. But anyway, that's how you do it. And thanks for watching. Peace. Never ever make this mistake, bro. Listen up. Before we start adding the tiz, bro, listen. You gotta remember that women also have pectoral muscles. Yeah, surprise. But most of the time when y'all draw pectoral muscles, y'all just draw boxes. Now this right here looks absolutely ridiculous. I'm not showing you how to do that though. You see, this right here is the wrong way to do things. You see, pectoral muscles are not just box shapes. Like, come on, bro, who are you drawing? Minecraft Steve? No, what you want to do first is make sure that there is a line that connects to the arms, curves in, and also remember that pectoral muscles have a gap. Yes, that's the reason why boobs are far apart, okay? It's because they're sitting on each pectoral muscle and each pec is separated. That's literally the reason. That's how you guys know why they sit apart and not together. So if you guys know this, you'll be able to draw the breast easily. Always keep in mind that it's going to have this taper fade. No, not taper fade, more like a rose petal. I don't know, bro. Just draw this, alright? It's shaped more like this, okay? And that's pretty much how you draw pectoral muscles on your characters. So now you know how to do it correctly. Learning how to draw the bones is important, but learning how to break those bones down to simple shapes is even more important. As you can see, all I'm doing is drawing an oval for the head, an oval for the rib cage, and a heart shape for the pelvis bone. This is how you want to break down the body whenever you're trying to draw. And you're left with this. This right here is all it takes to make a simplified skeleton. And then of course, all you can do is draw some little balls for the actual joint areas and some sticks for the actual limbs. And boom. Look how easy that looks. Now apply this to drawing poses. Right now I'm going to draw an oval for the actual ribs, and then an oval for the head, and then a line for the spine, and a heart shape for the pelvis. And as you can see, you can create poses pretty instantly with just simplifying the skeleton like this. This breakdown of the skeleton is the easiest way for beginners to understand a basic understanding about how the bones work underneath the skin and muscles. Once you understand how to draw this simplified skeleton, you can go ahead and start doing action poses, like Spider-Man poses, jumping poses, fighting poses, I don't even care. But remember that this right here is not a permanent method. It's good for beginners, but if you want to get more advanced, then other lessons that I'm going to be teaching in the future are better. But this right here is a great way to understand posing, understand the basic skeletal structure, and to get down poses quickly and efficiently. Remember this tip when you're drawing the arms raised. Start off with a cylinder shape and then use a claw shape that kind of covers one part of it and it will fold around. For example, this is going to be something like this. This is the muscle that is controlling the shoulder and the arm. And using a tube shape for the arm is pretty much how you want to think about it, something like this. And then of course you can add in the other muscles like that and everything, but we're not gonna do that right now. We're only focusing on the arm structure and how it looks when it's raised up. But you also got the back muscles down here, and this is pretty much how the arm looks, and that's the armpit. So when the arms are raised, remember that you want to make sure that you have the arm and this claw shape wrapping around it as the arm goes upward. Using this simple graft will help you understand how the arm works when it's lifted up. And also don't forget, as a little bonus tip, don't forget that the collarbones are going to raise with the shoulders, because sometimes people will draw the arms raised and then the collarbones are still straight, but make sure the collarbones are also arched upward. Anyway, that's gonna be it, and thanks for watching.